What is up, guys? It's your boy Blackrue back with another video. And like always, we're going to hit you with my guy, Indigo Saint. Let's get it. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer? Best believe it was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. Just thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing.
Yes, y'all. We're in the house. Got a crypto triple threat on deck here. Bars. Time to get ready to go here, y'all. Starting from the top with Mr. Ronin. Introduce yourself to the people. Second time on the show. Go ahead, Ronin.
Massive love, everyone. It is a true honor to be here. I find Ruel Black's community as well as MYC's community is a very educated group of people. So it is. I personally have been involved in DeFi for several years now. In fact, I have recovered funds from scammers, and I beat the FBI. I have more FBI. I beat them. I've been able to hunt down scammers and return money directly to people's funds. Check out my channel. We're a little more esoteric nowadays because this is big picture stuff. So check it out. We're the underground, and let's prepare our mindset. Let's prepare our portfolios because this matrix money is incredibly important to enjoy this experience here. Am I right, my friends? So thank you, Ruel, for inviting me. And I really enjoy MYC's commentary, and he helps me get my mindset correct as well. So let's go. Massive love. Let's get it. Let's get to it.
And by the way, before I bring in Dion, just want to let you know the links to both of these guys' channels are in the description, as well as my Telegram, completely free Telegram there for you guys. But definitely go over and follow these two gentlemen. And Dion.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys again. You know, we could talk about a variety of different things that are going on in the market. I saw SPF got a little bit of a spanking today, so that's good. I think that the timing on everything has never been more impeccable for the bull cycle, because we're putting the bad actors away, and then also on top of that, you know, we have halving coming up. We have brand new sediment. And, you know, it's good to be here. And, you know, it just comes to show that, you know, whenever you're in the crypto sector, it's always going to be a privilege. It's not a right. You know, so we got to continue to always have the best practices and, you know, the best disclosures, always educate each other and give each other the reality of the marketplaces that we live in, you know. So, you know, it's good to be with you guys. And, you know, I was asking for you, Ronin, the last time. I was like, yeah, you know, we haven't got to do a stream yet, you know, so it's good to see you again, too.
Yeah, perfect, guys. So let's just kick this off. Last time me and you talked, Dion, Bitcoin hit a new high, 35.5. And I'm pretty much at the point where I'm saying, okay, bull runs in now. Bull runs in. And if you guys don't know why I say that, go ahead over to my channel. I give you some TA on why I think the bull run is here right now. Shout out to some of the guys in the chat too. Shout out E. Shout out Cygnus Astratus Journalist. I think I messed that up, but I was close. Brian B. Nichols, Nerd Up Inc. Marv, Kaylin Karen Goswani. Okay. I'm messing these all up, I'm sure. But yeah, so Bitcoin has hit a new high. And I'm just curious, guys, where do you see the high for Bitcoin in the next bull run? And kind of where do you see it like ending up at? Like, when is a good point to sell? Do you think just not financial advice, anybody, but just our personal thoughts there. Yeah. Where do you see Bitcoin as a high in the next market, starting with Birdog over in Mr. Ronin in the top there?
So I'm the bear in the group. Temporary bear. Long-term bullish on this. I see it going to all the TA that I can tell and that others confirm is about 41, 42 Bitcoin in the near future. And I'm thinking between now and December. Okay, then I'm going to see it. I expect, and something that's very common knowledge that we've seen in the past is that Bitcoin dominance actually bleeds altcoins traditionally. So I see a 41, 42 Bitcoin in the near future till December-ish. And then I see a major pullback.
Ooh, major pullback. So if you don't mind saying, like, how far do you think that major pullback will be?
I mean, I think it's definitely going back into the 20s. And I also a super, if I see a black swan event, the thing that's strange is it's very difficult for me to predict because it's weird because wars are actually bullish for like crypto. I think it's bullish for crypto, which is kind of strange. I also think it's somewhat bullish towards the DXY, not immediate. I think that, things like the DXY is a little bit more lagging, but it's weird. Hey man, our fiat system is backed by war. What can we say, right? But I predict or how I'm doing my portfolio is I'm expecting a 41, 42 Bitcoin. Then I'm going to start really selling. I have my hodl bag and I have my trade bag. And I'll give everyone a quick example. XRP went to like 90 cents a couple months ago. Yep. I sold a very large amount of XRP because I'm not in a cult. I'm not in a group mindset. And then I bought it all back at 50 cents, peeled myself off a couple grand and increased my XRP bag. So that's a mindset I want everyone to get. Really look out for yourself. This bull run stuff. You see XRP going to 90 cents and you think it's going to go to $90. Don't listen to anyone. Learn. You should. You have a very educated audience. You should have been training and learning market swings and cycles and things of that nature in the last couple years, like myself. I'm not an expert, but I educated myself, and that's some of the best value you can get. So to make a short story long, in the near future, I expect a run up and a pullback, and I'm preparing myself to take not really profits, but to sell spot on market and then buy it all back. And when I take profit for temporary purposes, I do it in the PAX G because it's based on gold. That's me personally. So I have PAX G waiting, and then I buy back and increase my bags. That's my personal way of doing things. But I'll rest my mic there. And I'm only talking near future. I'm not talking bull cycle. We are in a bull cycle. It's healthy for a pullback, for continuation, and eventually the halving, etc. This time next year, early 2025, parabolic bull run. And that's my opinion on that.
Okay. And before I give mine, go ahead, Dion.
I'm thinking I think we'll probably max out around the 20x mark from ATL. So we're 15,000 at the very low on Bitcoin. So we could do another 10-20x from here by the time we get to 2025, and not necessarily because Bitcoin's improving in price, but because the currency would be devaluing. I think when we're going to war, it's actually inflationary because typically the governments they're going to be borrowing more money for the war. So when they borrow more money, they're going to be inflating the currency. We also have a bond market crisis that we're going through right now. The yields are probably the highest since 1994. So as those yields are going higher, you're going to get a lot of countries dumping the bonds. Japan seems to be becoming like the mainstream narrative now as to what's going to break the camel's back. when it comes to crashing the dollar. So I do think that whatever false flag event does happen, or whether it be from monetary forces, from currency swaps from other countries, dumping dollars to protect their pegs, or just flat out some false flag event war that leads to either more printing or, well, here's the thing, they don't really need to print. They could just watch that bond market crash, and that's going to create your currency crisis. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to ease the dollar, and that's basically the goal for the governments, is to ease the dollar. And the only way to do that is to either print or to let what naturally will happen if these yields get too high. People are going to keep dumping these bonds until it breaks. So I do think that a lot of assets are really going to skyrocket simply because the currency is going to devalue. Right now we're at I think the last time I checked was like 106. So the prices that you're seeing right now, even though they're going up in price, you're still watching, these prices at a discount, I would say. So the prices today, they're going up, but still they're a discount based on what our buying power is at this time. So I do think that we're going to go more on an uptrend as we enter into, the end of Q4. We might have an easing, I would say, in the market January, February, and then we're going to kick back off in March, right on April and so on and so forth. But I do think we're going to see another 20x. I mean, the first time we had Bitcoin crash at 3,000 and went to 69K. But I will say it went up to that mark because there was so much leverage going on. So depending on what the real catalyst is as to why we see higher prices in Bitcoin, that's going to be for us to find out. It could be the ETFs. It could be a crashing dollar or a combination of two. But who knows how much leverage is going to be used this cycle. So that's going to be interesting to watch. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I got some comments. I'm sorry. I'll
okay. No. Before I answer, Mr. Ronin, I'll let you have your comments. Go ahead. Because I feel that they're probably a reply to some things that Dion said, so I'll leave mine to the end.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'll make them fast. Yes. I mean, we just had Powell yesterday. I guess no interest rates, which means more free cash to throw around on these risk assets. So that's interesting because they know. So yeah, the end game is to destroy the dollar. Let's not pretend about that. And then usher in a whole new situation. So I'm kind of playing this out in phases, and at some point there's going to be a major pullback. I think the ETFs is a bit of you're going to see some emotional pumpage, and then I think you're going to see some drops after that, like hype news, so to speak, right? And then we have some interesting, I get weird, guys. We have some interesting celestial events, which I believe they follow this in over the United States. We're going to have in April another solar eclipse. You have that X. I think things, hey, I get it. Fundamentals, in my opinion, are out the window. This whole thing is manipulated. So bonds, I don't know anyone that's going to buy U.S. debt. I don't think the Feds, remember they did that a few years ago, buying U.S. debt. I don't think that's happening. So who buys the debt? No one. Crash. And then crypto rising from the ashes, Phoenix, and we see all those things. But between now and next year, I think it's going to be some interesting opportunities to buy at cheaper prices based in dollars, whatever those values are. So for me, besides taking some profits on some big upswings like BTC, and I have some other plays based on AI and things, but BTC going to 41, 42, I would sell. Not financial advice. Just what I'm doing. Take some profits, wait, buy it back. And then, there's going to be a lot of shenanigans in the news coming. It's going to be, they want to shake everyone out. You know what I mean? They want to implement their new money system. And so we need to somehow see this manipulation and position ourselves in the best way possible. So go ahead, Ruel. I hope that made sense.
It's all good.
Every time every time NYC talks, I'm like, oh my gosh, right? He just spun up so many ideas.
No, I agree. I think, we should pay attention to astrology a little bit. I think the bankers are moon worshipers, so I think it is actually good advice to pay attention. I mean, you don't need to use it as like a factual thing, but it is a nice cross reference to have as you're taking a look at things. So
it's in addition 100%. To your traditional indicators. It's merely an
additional tool.
Yeah, I agree 100%. No, we do the same thing.
So as we do on this channel as well. So I think I'm somewhere in the middle between these guys here. I like what Birdog's saying is with the 40K, I think we probably crossed the year somewhere at 40K, but here's where I'm at. The last halving before this one, Bitcoin got to 17K. And if you basically multiply that by 3, that was the high of the next halving, which was like 69. Okay. So if you multiply 69 by 3, you get somewhere between 180. Okay. That's my low end for like the bull run. My high end is 320K. And that high end is when we crossed the halving, Bitcoin was at 80K. It went all the way up to 69. That is an 8x. So I'm a little bit lower than Dion's 15 to 20. But in his defense, we had Rona last halving. So Rona was a black swan event. We possibly could have went higher had Rona not happened. So here we are somewhere between 180 to 320 to possibly higher, which is crazy for us to think about. Now, if I were to say like, when's the next dip coming? I would say Christmas. Somewhere around Christmas, people are always reorganizing their portfolios, their stock portfolios and whatnot. Taking tax losses, not taking tax losses. They always say, oh, there's going to be a Christmas rally. Never happens. Every year, that around the time they say Christmas rally, that's about the time they're going to drop. And it just never happens every year. However, coming into January, we have BlackRock ETF possible. We have people getting their tax checks back. Some of that money is going into crypto. I know, everybody that's in the space knows that the halving is coming in April. So some of that tax money is definitely coming into the crypto market. Okay. But here again, we have all this institutional money. So it almost really doesn't matter because we have the BlackRocks of the world, the Fidelities of the world, the ARK Invest of the world, all of that institutional money that's ready to come in. And quiet as it's kept, we've talked about this on the Blackrue investing channel. The BIS is letting central banks invest 2% of their money in 2025. So this train is not.
They have to increase their percentage in reserve in order to put out loans now. So I think what the BIS said is they have till 2028 to fill up the reserves to be loaning out their values. So that's probably going to impact gold. But I see it more like if the BIS is telling central banks to collect for the next years till 2028, to me, that's like them anticipating high inflation over the next years. A lot of people think like a bull cycle lasts only a couple of years, but most bull cycles, they could last 8 years, So yeah, is there fractures along the way? Yeah. But in the long run, if you take a look at some of the bull cycles in the stock market or any market, they could last, arguably between, I would say, 7 to 8 years. So we could be seeing that high point on it because you take a look at where a lot of everything fell down, even after the crashes. XRP landed at 30 cents. I think XLM, I think the lowest it ever got was like 8 or 9 cents. ETH, I think, dropped to about $900 in 2022. All of these things are still a lot higher than the last ATLs. So, I think the compression, this cycle around, we're going to see some high numbers.
So this cycle, or this last halving, we had 2 years of bullishness and about 2 years of bearishness, more or less, right? You could say like let's just say that, okay? That's about what we had. Now, coming up to this next cycle, like Dion's saying, could we have 8 years of bullishness? I don't know. Could we have 4 years of bullishness and I don't know. But from what it's looked like from the last halving, 2 years of bullishness, 2 years of bearishness. But just like we've seen here, every time the bull run kind of speeds up with its time. Last year or last halving, it was like 6 months after the halving, things went bullish, and the halving before that, it took like a year after the halving, and now here we are, like 6 months before the halving, and things are already bullish. So it seems like every cycle things kind of speed up. This might also mean that the cycles extend a little bit. So that'll be something for us to really, really look out for. We're believing that there might be 2 years of bullishness and 2 years of bearishness based off precedent, but maybe it extends a little bit. So that'll be something to look out for.
It's
So
possible.
something to think about too. This last bull run was interesting in some coins like XRP and several others. They didn't necessarily meet their previous all-time highs in reference to the previous cycle. In 2017, 18-ish, there's people that have been sitting on $3 XRP bags for a long time. So
Yeah.
is some of these parabolic runs now, flywheel effect, you hear all these things. I'm sure they'll happen in some cases. Now, we talked about some of the mainstream stuff. We've laid down a little bit of the groundwork here. Everyone do your homework on some of how the economy actually works. And we touched on a lot of this. We're talking Bitcoin and some of these other ones, but some of these altcoins swing, they're back to where they were in 2020 prices, but they swing so parabolic up and they swing 99% back down to their value. Now, I would the way I do my portfolio is some of these conservative plays, some of these middle plays, some of these long shot plays. And if you notice, and just for edification for those that haven't lived through that, I want people to be really mentally prepared for this. Bull run happening. Typically, Bitcoin leads the way. It sells off, bleeds over into ETH and some of these like middle range solid cryptos. They go up, bleeds, and then goes in to your more dark horse crypto. So something to think about. And this time around, I'm not going to get too fancy with it. I have in my Excel spreadsheet stuff that I bought in, and I have target prices that I'm literally going to sell at. And I have my plan mapped out. I'm not going to be emotional. If something hits certain price points, I'm not going to go, XRP made it to $5. It's going to 500. It's going to 389, dude. That's why I'm done with these this mentality. I'm done. You know what I mean? I have a house. I got a daughter. I got dogs and cats to take care of. I am here for the long run. We have this bull run. We have the next bull run, the next halving, 2028. So this whole flip of the switch, I'm out of it. I'm being way more like strategic about this. And I have some really great cryptos that I'm invested in that are kind of on that bottom, more long shot list that I think have so much more upside than a Bitcoin. A 5x Bitcoin, that's cute. I see the last bull run, I bought some cryptos that were at 10 cents and they went to like $15.
Woo!
And I have plenty of stories like that. So you don't need a ton of $100 in some of these lower long shot utility things that have real good partnerships that are somewhat new, haven't seen the light of day yet. So much upside. So you don't need a ton. Organize your portfolio, get your mindset right, and just DCA in right now. And I know this is basics, but I feel like we need to prepare for this bull run on a basic level, in
Yeah.
my humble opinion.
One of the things that I hear a lot of people say, like almost every bull run, is I should have took more profit. I should have took more profit. It happens every time. And really, like Mystic Ronin is saying, you can prepare for the next bull run. You can also prepare for the inevitable bear market by shorting stuff. So there are different ways. There are plenty of different ways you can slice the pie there. But the optimal point is taking profits is the best thing there. And different people do it different ways. You could say, okay, let's just take H bar for example. A coin I like, coin that has connections to FedNow, to the people in Davos. Let's talk about H bar, right? So let's just say I thought H bar was going to go to $1, right? It's sitting at like 5.5 cents right now. So if I think it's going to go to $1, let's say I say, okay, at 20 cents, I'm going to take 10% profit. At 40 cents, I'm going to take another 20 or 15% profit and just cut it in like fifths, right? So 20, 40, 60, 80, $1, right? And you can do it like that and just maybe say keep 10 cents of a moon or 10% of a moon bag or 20% of a moon bag. Okay. Like, okay, I'm at it's at $1 now, but I'm going to keep 10 or 20% of this because yeah, it's H bar, right? Who knows, right? So remember about profits, remember about cycles. Things do not go up to infinity, right? And if you follow the Blackrue Investing channel, you know about cycles, you know about reading the charts a little bit. So when things are really hot and heavy on the RSI, that is a really good point, a really good tip for you to maybe get out. Of course, with astrology as well. Been a little silent there, Dion. What's your view on this, bro?
And by the way, let's get into some cryptos. But go ahead, Dion. I have some cryptos I want to share with people. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My
friend. Just to piggyback off of what both of you were saying regarding cycles is pay attention to circulation too on some of the way they set up their tokenomics, depending on the type of token you're looking at. But some utility tokens that have like a different organized distribution, let's say where maybe the admin holds majority percent or whatever the case, which is pretty typical. But when you're taking a look at things like XRP, let's say, or HBAR, it is important to take a look at the previous all-time highs because some of those all-time highs were based on compression of the tokenomics themselves. So for a lot of people that really wish for XRP to hurry and hit its first all-time high, well, the only reason why it hit such high numbers is because there was only so many tokens out in circulation. Most of Ripple held most of the tokens at that time. So the community was only really buying out of a 20 or 30% pool. And that's what led to those serious spikes to, I think, $4. This time around, there's more tokens in circulation for people or retailers to purchase. So what you have to imagine the way prices or price spikes, kind of like a glass of water. If a glass of water is small cup and it's full of water and you drop a rock into it, you're going to see a nice uptick in the splash, right? Well, if you have a giant pool and you drop a rock in the middle of the pool, all you see is what? A ripple effect. So that's the beauty and also kind of like the limitations of a larger cap, because once you have more tokens in distribution or let's say or circulating and you have a large pool, now your purchases don't mean as much when it comes to price action. So you find more stability in the price, which is could be a good thing if you're using it as a store of value. But keep this logic in your back pocket as you're searching for some of those OG picks that we used to like, or like XLM, XRP. Take a look at the circulation, kind of get an idea of how much the price could spike based on what's out there in circulation or what's out there in the pools in general. Take a look at the distribution list, see how the token is spread out, and you should get an idea of how much it's going to have when it comes to the price action. So like for instance, this time around, XRP crashed down to about 30 cents. I can imagine it going a few dollars this cycle. And I could see it $3 to $5 or something. But I don't think I'm going to see it much higher than that. Will it consolidate at a higher all-time low after everything is said and done? Yeah, probably. But again, I agree with Ronin with we're not here for 10x, right? So when you're dealing with larger market caps, if you're dealing with a market cap that's 1 billion, 2 billion, 40 billion, you're not going to get a lot of price action because the pool and the circulation is so big. Everything is so huge. So you're not going to, get a lot of price action or multipliers out of those types of tokens. For instance, like Bitcoin, maybe it does go 10, 20x, but you're going to be waiting the entire cycle for that to happen. If you're playing around with tokens that have a smaller market cap and you're getting in early as that project develops and it grows, and you're watching the admin, he's marketing consistently, or the community's active or whatever the case, and you're there under 10 million market cap and you see that token go 500 million or over $1 billion in market cap, well, then your multipliers are going to be looking like 100 or 1,000x plus.
Gotcha. Nice. That's a really good point to keep in mind, guys. That's a great point. It makes me think about some lower quantity coins like a quant, if you will, or a chain link, which don't have as much supply out there. As supply gets limited, maybe those things really get shot to the moon. So that's really something to consider, guys. So in that vein, and I know Ronin wanted to talk about this a little bit. So what are you guys' kind of top sectors here for the up and coming bull run? Like, when do you see certain sectors getting hot or cold? Give us some of your top sectors and maybe two of your top coins.
Go ahead. You first.
Do you mean like on the conservative or a little bit more?
Well, I'm just thinking like top sectors, like for example, like AI. Like AI is probably going to be a top sector coming up this this bull run, and then like top coins, like I mentioned there, quant. Like, give us like maybe your top two. Sure. Like if you had a weapon up to your head and you were forced to choose two to invest in, what are those top two?
Yeah, and I just want to say what's up to the chat. We got Konami Codes is a legend, Third Eye Edify, Tony Bags. But I love how everyone's talking real serious, precious metals, real estate. And then we got our boy Brian the Nickel says, Colombian war. That's who you should invest in. Guys, there's a lot of Venezuelan young ladies from the age of 18 to 24 that need help. Okay? Save your Lambo. I'm sorry. That's a hilarious comment, man.
They need help. I think I can provide some help.
Yeah, guys, come on, dude. Help anyway. Oh my gosh, where was I? Well, I mean, obviously AI. I see data storage being big. I have some AI picks beyond GRT. I have some startup type things that just recently I've seen like 5x's, 10x's. I missed this one called I think it's called Chart AI. It did a 15x and I just missed it. I didn't own it. My friend was telling me just last week he put $100 in. This week it's worth $1,500. So I put into website AI $100, and now my $100 is worth about $250. So there's some real opportunities out there building Web3 websites and doing that. Kind of like a Squarespace. And then like I sent you something, Ruel, when it comes to data storage. I love AKT, which is kind of like AKT MYC. You're gonna love this. Max supply is only 388 million. Right now it's worth $1-ish. And there's people building on AKT now, and they have legit partnerships that I work with in real life.
As a cost, right?
A cost.
What's the market cap right
now? Ruel, if you want to look that up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up while you're talking. Go ahead.
But, it has real world partnerships with data centers. So it's like Filecoin, but it's It's in that sector. So data storage, the boring stuff, but AKT has stuff building on them. And I sent you a real long shot called Passage. Look up Passage, and they're that's a long shot one. That's not something you put in your life savings. So I don't want to talk about the usual cryptos. We know XRP, XLM, HBAR, Cody. ADA is powered by Cody. That's something worth looking at. Looking at Cody, COTI. And of course, I personally don't like the Internet of Things. I know that's a big thing, but that's a personal. I don't want to invest in it. I'm sure there's tons of money. IOTA, I'm sure all that's going to do fabulous. But I like the AI stuff's going to be good. I like privacy coins. I told you I bought a coin, and that coin was Pirate Chain. So this is like Monero, but then you have Pirate Chain. And I'm telling you guys, when these tyrannical things go into play, I know millionaires in the UK that get taxed on their crypto. They booked millions of dollars every year the last few years, and they go, dude, I'm going Monero. This is crazy, these taxes. So I'm telling you, there's big money that's going to go into privacy. So I think privacy coins is big. Okay, think of, that's, and I made a ton of money on Pirate Chain. I think it's the best tech. So there's a couple sectors: storage, AI, Web3, website building, and etc., as well as privacy is going to be big in my humble opinion. Again, I'll repeat. Outside of those big, I know XRP, XLM, they're going to do great. I'm just trying to give you guys another.
No, that's good. Thank you, Ronin. That gives us something outside of the normal ISO coins, if you will. And just for edification, there, the market cap of Akash is 225 million. It is also built on Cosmos, I believe. So that's another plus for me, actually. Go ahead, Dion, with yours.
I agree with you for sure. I like COTI. And I don't hold any, but I remember researching that a while back last cycle. That's a very good token. GRT, definitely a very good token. When it comes to AI, Fetch.ai is also another one. I do like your storage idea too. I do think privacy is going to be a big thing, privacy or just, data storage, communications, GameFi, that's going to be big. A lot of things are going to be transcending into like personal security because data is going to become the new gold. So what that means is not the fact that data is going to be everywhere as it usually is in the last decade. Data is going to become very scarce. We have VPNs are coming out. You have things like Brave Browser. And, I don't hold these tokens, but I do see so much value. And I do think that like a lot of people don't really get to bring these tokens up, but like OXT, which is Orchid, they sell VPN services and they use OXT as a medium of exchange for the service. So if you wanted VPN services, you would pay $1 in OXT. So I really like that. And I really like the simple business model structure. You have a medium exchange utility token, you have a community, and they utilize that token for that use case. They have a product or they have a service. They use the utility token for that product and service, and that community transacts in that currency. I love that. Brave Browser, you have Brave tokens. Everybody, including myself, I use Brave Browser. You could set up your wallet. You could earn Brave tokens simply by using its browser. These are certain things that I think are missed, and they're probably a lot more important than people think. They're more used technologies or products than most of the crypto sector, and that's something I've been noticing. A lot of the technology that we have, that's actually used. I mean, whenever I hear about a project, I always want to ask, are you using their product? Are you using their service every day?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with and unfortunately, the crypto market is so glamorized and there's a lot of sensationalism where unfortunately us as analysts, we have to kind of gravitate towards, who has the best marketing, who's getting on camera, who's who's marketing every day or who has a good engagement on the community. And I get that. I understand marketing very well. But, you know, I'm really going back to what happened last cycle. A lot of VCs and private equity groups got wrecked because they were investing on sensationalized ideas and not really products. So I do think a lot of private equity groups and VCs this time around, this cycle, they're going to be looking at projects that actually have a product or actually have a service that's being utilized by users. So, you know, I'm really happy with what we have going on for OddApp. But also on the flip side, when I'm taking a look at some of the products that I do like out there, like BlueZo BLZ, which is a GameFi token that also has decentralized storage abilities. It's also a security infrastructure for Cosmos ecosystem. Ripple used to work with them back in the day. So that's a 500 million coin supply token. And
who is that you mentioned? I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
BlueZo BLZ.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, 500 million coin supplies, and it's at, I think, 120 million market cap right now. But that's going to be another unicorn company. See, what creates a unicorn project is a token that's a utility. You know, you have a token and you have a product or a service that's good enough for users to pay for it and to play with every single day. So, you know, a lot of times I'll think about, well, you know, I really like this project, but what am I going to use with it, or who is using it, or what is the probability of people actually using this? So BlueZo, I think about the video game they're developing. People are going to play that video game. Are they using storage services right now? Yeah, they're currently using storage services. You know, so these are things that are proving value to the crypto sector and the crypto economy. That's what creates an economy, is products and services that issue enough value for people to pay for it. So, you know, I whenever I'm, you know, combing through different projects, that's something I really want to take a look at. So I do like them. I love ArcBlock ABT. You were mentioning Web3 for, you know, whether it be for storage, whether it be for creating websites, decentralized app stores. ArcBlock is going to be a huge banger for that. It's 186 million coin supplies. The market cap is under 10 million. And this is going to be its first cycle on a tier 1 exchange, Coinbase. So, you know, that's a big deal. You know, I think that a lot of these dormant tokens that were behind the scenes in DeFi exchanges, or maybe they were on international exchanges, now entering that American market, especially being on an accessible exchange like this, I think this is going to, you know, really enhance a lot of coverage to these tokens. That didn't really get a fair shake yet because they just didn't have the accessibility. So now they do. So I think they're going to do really well. I think BlueZo went from 6 cents to 30 cents now. I'm thinking $5 to $10 on that. ArcBlock, you know, even at 100 million market cap, which is relatively small for a utility token, you know, that's $1 every 100 million market cap. And that, you know, that's probably one of the biggest ICOs that ever came out in crypto history. So I do anticipate in the future, for every billion, it's going to be $10 a token. So that's going to be a nice one. You know, I love my own token. An MYC token is something that I'm going to be using as a use case for OddApp. It'll be your credentials, so that way you could pay for annualized services. So like, say if you wanted to get a yearly subscription to OddApp, you could utilize the token. So I'm going to very much follow that doctrine of some sort of use case. But, you know, for me coming up as a trader, as an investor, and distribution is going to be a big thing for me. So, you know, 51% locked up supply, LP is locked for 33 years, and it's decentralized distribution. You know, I own 2% of it and change. And then mostly everybody is 1% or less. So that's always a big thing when you're taking a look at different utility tokens or even meme coins. When you're looking at tokens, you want to look at the distribution, you want to look at the holder list, you want to look at the use case. What's it paying for? What product? And is there a user base? Are people paying for that product? You know, is it being used every day? Those are a lot of things I've been taking a look at where I'm like, okay, you know, I want to be just like the big guys. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, I could compete with some of the bigger dogs out there that have good products out there and contribute to the sector.
Okay. So now it's my turn, I guess. For me, payment.
Oh, you did a turn? I thought this was the Mystic MYC channel.
Right? No. I got to be a gracious guest and let my guest go first. You know what I mean? Yeah, guys, I like payment cryptos. I think as things get worse and worse with the dollar, payment cryptos and having those and being able to use those and be quote unquote bankless, right, is going to be very important as more and more banks fail and more fiats fail. So looking at things like WADS Pay, things like Alchemy Pay, payment cryptos are like something that are really, I think, are going to be a big thing, and things that could possibly be integrated into things like Twitter or X and use this payment like a Dogecoin, if you will, or Ton Coin, which is integrated into Telegram. People can use these things, a Telcoin. People can use these things as almost remittance payments, like right in their chat, right? So things like that, I think, are going to have like a really good time.
SHX.
I'm sorry.
SHX.
Okay, there we go. Stronghold, and that's on Stellar. All right, there we go. Got my back. I see. Cool. So
very
ones
small
like
market cap on that. So I think that one's 3 million market cap right now. It's not bad.
There we go. And that is one that Ronin sent me too. So we're right. We're right in lockstep, guys. Here we're right in lockstep.
I know what you guys like. So. Well, when you come up as a trader or as an investor, right? You kind of know what people like, or what they want to see. But the distribution on that, that a Stronghold holds a very large majority of that. So there's actually not that much to actually be able to purchase. So I do think, even though it's like that, there's still going to be some benefit there because it could have some major spikes because there's not really that many tokens within that DeFi pool. Whenever I'm taking a look at the distribution list, you could take a look at the percentage for the holders, but look at the DEX pool. See how many tokens are within the DEX pool. If there's really not that many, or if there's like 1%, 2%, 6% or under, there's not that many tokens to actually purchase. So that scarcity is going to contribute to that price action. So that's always nice too.
Yep.
So
and then go ahead. One more, and then coins connected to kind of BRICS nations, if you will, because I do believe that money's going to flow over there. So Filecoin, it's connected to BRICS nations, and it's also decentralized storage. It has its own layer 1 now. It also has this protocol IPFX, which people use. I mean, you don't have to use Filecoin to use IPFX, but Filecoin. Another one.
You have to pay using Filecoin for sending and storage. So that increases the demand for the token. So Filecoin's definitely a big one too.
Okay, yeah. So you're saying when you use IPFX, you have to pay them for storage?
Yeah, you have to pay them for if you're sending data. I'm not exactly I'm not the best at remembering that model, but
no worries. I
do know that you pay using the coin to send data between the different nodes.
Yep.
So I do know you pay in that token. So you need the token, but you can also mine the token too. So it does have a proof of work concept to it.
Yep. Dion brought on a guy, Byte Storage. He does some work with
IFPS.
With IFPS. So he knows there. And shout out to CEO of ArcBlock, Robert Mao. I believe Dion had him. Did you have him on this week?
Yeah, I got to interview him on Tuesday for Halloween. And, I was thinking about dressing up as a hot dog to interview him, but I was like, no, I haven't got to talk to him in a while.
So guys, if you want some kind of like information straight from the source on ArcBlock, go check it out on his channel. Okay. Like that's the most up-to-date interview with the CEO right on his channel there. I was
thinking too on that. Look,
go ahead. For
any token, it could be ArcBlock. I know a lot of people are like, when marketing, whatever. Look, for any token. Okay. Don't judge the performance of any token based on what you experienced the last 6 months or year and a half. Okay. That was a bear market, that there was not that many audience numbers. The population was very low. Now we have VCs, private equity groups, and also a larger mass of audiences coming into the market every day. So, try not to utilize or use your previous experience in the bear market as some sort of indicator of what performance will be in the bull cycle. Okay. It's an entirely different environment now. So keep that in mind. Any sort of even the most minimalized marketing efforts right now are going to have big effects on the tokens, because there's just so many more people now, and there's going to be a lot more people coming in 2024. Just to throw that out.
Gotcha. And then I think we hit Filecoin, WatchPay. What were the other ones that I was thinking about?
Well, hold on real quick before we get off of Filecoin, Akash. ArcBlock is like deeper in the weeds. Akash is like in the middle. Filecoin's kind of leading that. I say that because Akash sent out its file sharing. They have the cost. Who these people are competing with is like AWS and Azure from Microsoft. If you want to store some data with AWS or Azure, let's say it's $100 a month, like not corporate. I'm talking about just regular. Akash can do that for like a couple dollars. So think about the competition. You're talking about companies can save 90+% on overhead on storage, and these people are gonna whether it's ArcBlock, and I love ArcBlock, by the way. I own some, and I'm gonna add some more. But I kind of have that, like I said, that conservative. I have Filecoin, I have Akash, I have ArcBlock. Think about that though. The reduction in overhead price to corporations, well over 90%, to do the same cloud storage, but now you're doing crypto storage, so much cheaper. They're going to have to buy some, it's incredible, the upside of this decentralized whole concept. The upside's incredible, guys. I just want to throw that out there, man, so that we know. And by the way, I want to hit up Mark Gauthier. That sounds fancy. Mark Gauthier. By the way, it's weird. It's weird. The vibe tonight is like, I'm all about business. MYC's about business. Ruel, we're just locked in, and usually we're a bunch of silly geese. And tonight we're just like, it's grind time. Yo, what are we doing? We're talking about making
business, son.
Everybody feels it, but at the same time, I keep reminding our community, because everybody still has their bear hats on, and the energy's low. But I'm like, guys, you got to switch back on already. You have to switch that bull hat on, because there's so many more eyeballs now. Right now, the audience numbers, they're getting larger, but imagine in the next 3 months, and then with you guys live streaming or anybody else live streaming, the audience numbers are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The networks are going to get larger. We're going to see a major influx of more and more people. So, you're not going to need to, like, I like to use this example. Experts not going to need to worry about an expert out trading them anymore, because in the bear market, only the experts and the traders were left. So everybody was flipping on a 2X, everybody was too worried about each other, but now going into the bear market,
the Jeets are going to get burned.
Yeah, exactly. In the bull market, everybody is now focused, including the experts, are now focused on PE, VCs, larger mass retailers coming into the market. So less people are worried about each other, expert versus expert. Now they're like, okay, we can't move anymore. We need to hold. And that's what's really going to start. You're going to start seeing a lot more scale, but you're going to see a lot more experts and people ruining their entry points. And that's not something you want to do at this time. The next year and a half, is really going to determine your lifestyle for the next 10 years. So, it's very imperative you turn on your bull hats now and snap out of what you already went through. That's over. Now you're moving on to a new sentiment, new market environment, new crypto population, and more coming. with VCs and private equity groups with fresh books, fresh cash balance books for acquisition. So, you got to snap out of that and start getting ready for the real season and start anticipating where to be, grab your positions, lower positions, or whatever the case, and then just hold, because now the next year is going to be crazy. So the last thing you want to do is be jumping around and miss your entry. You only got so many months left before you are starting to buy along with VCs and along with massive floods of audiences or new people into crypto. And that's not going to be fun, because at that point, your bottom price entries are over, your entries are over. And if you miss that, if you forfeit one of your entries, now you just resetted your multipliers. So for instance, the difference between getting in at 1 penny and 5 pennies is going to cost you 5x. Put it that way.
It's crazy when you think about that, because like when you find something that's like such a like a bargain, like let's say WADS Pay I was talking about, right? Mm-hmm. It's at 4 cents now. I've been investing since like 0.009 cents or something like that, and it's like you always think, okay, I'm going to gradually put something in here, but no, you should put as much as you can up front if you've done all your research, because then that's the time, like, you know what I mean? And now at 5 cents, I could take some more profits if I wanted to, but I'm not, because I expect a lot more out of it. But you know what I mean? Like, right? So just that little bit, like 0.09 to 5 cents to 4 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but it's huge. It's literally a 4x. So that reminds me of something. Now, as the crypto market is going up, the tech sector in like stocks and stuff like that is going down. And I believe the tech sector eventually will go back up again. So that is another area that we can get some really good ROI right now. Tesla basically brought like a lot of the tech sector down, which means when things like AI cryptos go up, I think we see the stock market tech also kind of go up with it. Okay. So some of the things that I'm looking at in tech is like electric charging stations. A company called ChargePoint has a really huge short float on it right now. And then going back to the crypto side of things, things like VXV, Vector, I think is, I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll have to look it up for you guys. But it's also an AI crypto, and AGIX, the people over there at singularity.net, right? And there's a lot of esoteric stuff to Singularity, right? But
I should see if I could schedule another interview with him. I did an interview with him when I first started, when he used to be AGI, and he would talk to me. I mean, and he was real about it, because it's happening now where you could program AI agents to follow you on social media or follow your message boards, and the AI basically will mimic you and everything you say. So if it follows you for 3 months, it could probably duplicate you. So it's kind of creepy.
Wow.
So I should see if I could catch him again. I know who to reach out to for that. But if I could do it, maybe we'll put a panel together.
Oh, dude, that'd be so awesome. I'd love to do that. And that crypto I was talking about, VXV, is Vector Space AI. And VXV also, that ticker seems to have a lot of esoteric feel to it with that VXV. Kind of reminds me like an OVO type of deal or something going on there. But yeah, so VXV is a really big one for me. AGIX, which is singularity.net. And one that Mark Cuban invests in, and this will be my dark horse pick, and I'll come to you guys for like your one dark horse pick. It's called Artificial Liquid Intelligence, Ali. You can actually buy this on Gemini. Let's see where the price is at right now. It's 0.015, so 1.5 cents. When AI was just going bananas, this was up to like think like 5 cents. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, when AI was going bananas, it got to, yeah, 5 cents. Like I said, um, so at a pretty good, got at a pretty good price right now. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna start putting some things in that. Market cap is 56 million, not too much. Total supply is 10 billion there, and Cubans invested in this. One of the ones that, like, Cubans had like a spotty like crypto history, but one of the ones that he was really high on, Injective, is actually doing pretty good right now. So I'm not saying that this is going to turn into Injective, but you know, it's something to pay attention to because people like big names.
Was that was a stock?
No, that was a crypto. It's a
A
ALI.
ALI. Okay.
Okay, Ali. It's a AI crypto. They're looking to do things with let me just share it right quick. Let me see. Present.
Shout out to
Share
Obscure
screen.
Warrior. If you're not twerking while watching this video, I don't think he's clapping cheeks. I don't know if it's he or she, but if you're not, you ain't ready. You don't want to make life changing money if you ain't clapping cheeks while watching this right now. You know what I mean?
So here we're dropping this one right for right.
What's going on? I don't see the live chat for you guys. What is going on in there?
I know live chat is wild, boy, and I love it. I love it. Here it is. ALI. Trying to get to the website here.
Like Michelle is like a real lady watching from the bathtub. That's how you do it, guys. You gotta have something smoking, and you gotta have a little drink and candles lit, because get ready for the high life, legend.
Let's go. So here we are. Just to give you guys a look at the website here for ALI. I'm gonna go down just to give you a little receipt of Mark Cuban being involved with this. You can see right here it says Mark Cuban Companies right here on the website. So you can say Blackrue showed your receipt with that. So yeah, ALI, you can actually buy this on Gemini. So yeah, one of my dark horse picks, and let's go ahead and see if we can get dark horse picks starting from the top with Birdog and moving over to Dion.
Okay, I have a dark horse pick that I don't know. It's hard to tell because this is such an educated audience, but I like ASTR, ASTR. It's a chain that I'm so bullish on. Lots of people building. Again, I don't know how well known this is because everyone here is so knowledgeable. But to some, I think ASTR is an amazing dark horse, great chain, and it's in its early phase. So peep that. And I also just want to I want to get back to this one, Mark Gutier. Okay, so once you take profits, what do you do with the money? Let's say you take profits at end of bull, you'll spend the entire bear cashing out. What if your bank collapse as part of that bear cycle, etc.? I read that how that was written. Shout out to Mark. Personally, for temporary gain, temporary profit taking, I go to PAX G because it's essentially backed by gold. If you want to then kind of get off chain, there's plenty of I'm PMs. It's basically massive upside with silver in the future, and they take crypto. So the dealers that I use, and they'll also do they'll do custody for your PMs if you trust them like that. Same thing as PMs. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Like crypto, you don't own your keys, you don't own it. But that's something you need to think about. But I would say PMs, and silver is gonna blow your tatas off. some point. I see gold at 20K at some point, based off of MYC's original comment of it's based on the dollar being going useless. But I see silver outpacing gold. So I would go into PMs. That's what I do. I've been into PMs for well over 20 years. I've been a stacker for well over a long time. And that's to answer that question. So a star as a dark horse pick.
Got you. All right, Dion.
This is just like random picks that I know of.
This is your one dark horse pick here.
Now, what does dark horse mean? Like if all hell breaks loose, sort of thing, or
Dark horse means to me, and since we're on the dark horse the watcher channel here, dark horse means to me something that is obscure that someone would not necessarily know about out there that you think is going to be a great pick in the future. Like I kind of mentioned the Ali there.
I don't own any, but I think ORN. It's Orion Protocol. I think that'll be a big one. It's another DeFi service where you could interchange or swap tokens from almost any blockchain. So I do think that's going to do good. I think ATH on it was about $28 last cycle or more. But I know the last time I saw it, it was like 20 cents or so. But I think that's going to be a pretty good one. Like, and again, I don't hold any, but I ran over it the other day looking at INJ, Injective Protocol, which is another decent one. But I think that token will do pretty well.
Here, since you guys mentioned gold, I just want to share something with you guys. You guys know I talk about gematria a little bit, and I just want to share something with you guys here. Let me bring the screen back up here. I'm curious when Ronin gets back. I want to get his thoughts on this too. So if you guys are not aware, there's like the central banks use a currency within themselves. That currency that they use between themselves is called XDR. Okay. And if you're not aware, the ISO organization, they do have with the IMF, they have like three-letter designations for all currencies and things like that and assets. So the XDR is the currency that they use between themselves. It's called special drawing rights. There's also gold, which they abbreviate as XAU, and AU is gold's on the periodic table, by the way. They already have a ISO designation for Bitcoin, and that is XBT. Okay. Now, what you're looking at here is gematria, right? Gematria, if you guys are not aware, it's like breaking words into numbers, and I really believe in that. And one way I can tell you gematria works, I'm a programmer. What the machine does is it breaks, like when you're coding and things get compiled. It takes real words, breaks them down into binary code, which is zeros and ones, and the computer understands it. So this is no more than binary code programming. That's basically gematria, right? So we already know that's a thing, okay? So if we look at the ordinal cipher, the reduction cipher, the reverse cipher, and the reverse reduction cipher, you don't really need to know what they mean. Just match the patterns here. You can see the symbol for special drawing rights, gold, and Bitcoin. They all add up to the same thing. Now you're looking at the 19 here and you say it doesn't fit, but if you add 1 + 9, you get 10, right? So it fits. So to me, what this says is to the elites or whoever chose these letters, right? They could have chosen any letters. Gold is the same as Bitcoin, is the same as their special drawing right stuff. That's what that says to me. And I was floored when I found this information out. Okay. So that's something for you guys to kind of really understand. I really believe that they think about Bitcoin as like almost digital gold. They really truly do. Okay. And it's proven with things like this.
Okay, I see what you mean by like black horse type of thing. Like this is what you got to hold in case something goes wrong, type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it either. I thought it was like, oh
Wait,
my God.
no. When I said dark horse thing, I meant like a small little pig. I was just
Oh yeah.
with this gematria stuff. I was just showing
Oh,
you
it just
guys
seemed like
something.
so doomsday the way you explained that. So I was, so I was
Oh
like,
no! I
How do you
didn't mean that
do
doomsday. I'm
that?
sorry. I just wanted to make the connection between like everyone thinks of Bitcoin like you have to choose. Like okay, it's either Bitcoin or gold, right?
yeah.
They're both vying against each other. I'd rather have something that's tangible. I'd rather have gold, right? And to me, I believe that they think of Bitcoin as digital gold. So there's not like you don't really have to choose. Bitcoin is digital gold. And something like this kind of just proves it to me. Okay. And that's what I was pointing out. Sorry,
Gotcha.
I didn't thoroughly explain that point. So to me, Bitcoin is digital gold. And when you see things like that, that they give it the exact same three-letter symbol for ISO, to me, they're saying it's the same thing. It's the same energy there, right? Um, I don't know. I might have just confused our audience here, but
Yeah. No,
I
that's
think that's
beautiful,
something.
my friend. That's beautiful. You know, you're starting to enter into my weird world, and that's great. Um, I gave you just a hidden gem in crypto, but yeah, guys, one thing that's guaranteed is change, and you know, prepper mindset, getting your mindset ready for anything that could happen, so that when other people are freaking out, you're not freaked out. You've seen this coming. Anything, right? If you have a disaster, the authorities are not going to help you. If you have a financial disaster, they're not going to help you. Any type of thing like that, we're in that time now, and you need to really buckle up. I think that's why the vibe tonight with the three of us is way more business like. Um, I think the last time Dion and the two of us were talking, I wasn't focused on crypto. I was just kind of, you know, I wasn't looking, but now it's a whole nother thing. So yeah, for sure. I think diversifying. I'm not a stock guy. I don't hold any stocks. I don't plan on it ever. I think Bitcoin is where it's at. I think precious metals is where it's at. And I think getting your house in order is where it's at in all things. Getting your mind where it's at. Getting your health, doing your push-ups. You know what I mean? Getting
Yeah.
all your your gut, I think these are times, if I'm being honest, we're talking financial a lot tonight, and I think it's so important to get all things aligned, now, grounding and getting in the esoteric, getting in the spiritual, getting in the what you're eating, and it's important. It's
I will
vital.
say that I went down from 208 to now 198. So I'm very happy with my results so far. I've been on the ramen noodle diet.
And you lost weight.
Eating cardboard boxes during the bear market to stack. I'm ready to go.
Nice. Nice. I'm losing a little bit myself, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Um one more thing I just want to present to you guys again, just to give you some more kind of receipts here um on what I was saying. Share. So this is from Kraken here, just to let you guys know, Bitcoin currency code XBT. So they'll say XBT is still being used for most APIs. That just shows you that XBT is used for Bitcoin. And then if you go down here lower, it tells you also another example for this abbreviation is for gold, XAUT. LU, and this is from the International Standards Organization. And this information that I'm getting it from, this is actually from Kraken's website, so you can pretty much believe that it's some accurate information there. Okay, I won't go to the XDR site. You can look up just XDR special drawing rights, and you can find that information. But then let's go ahead and move to our I think our next question here. I don't know if we really covered this. When is the next dip for me? I think the next dip will be somewhere around Christmas because people always reorganize their portfolios for the Christmas time. Okay. So now am I saying down to 20K? I don't think that, but I think that's the time wherever we're at, in December, that's the time like where we see some pullback from wherever we're at. Okay. But yeah, I definitely think we crossed this year over 40.
I agree. I think we are going to see a dip towards that end of the year.
So my thing is, there's some important dates to look out for and could affect things. Dave said, okay, by the way, to Dave's not here, man. I'm come join my Telegram. I'm a strong proponent of money laundering. I believe it is virtuous to launder as much money as possible. Okay, my friend. So next is
He's joking.
Who let everybody in here? Who let you guys in here?
I thought it was just us hanging out talking. No, so important dates. I believe December 12th is an important date, 12/12, to look out for a shift in the market. And I think April, look up the eclipse over the United. It happens to happen over the United States. I believe in geographic astrology, where these eclipses happen over certain areas, affects things. So does that mean a dip? And I think a severe dip is incoming before the continuation. Like, that's my opinion. But the weird thing is I've been wrong all year. It's very strange. Every important date I've called, I've nailed it, but it's went the opposite direction that I thought. So important dates of literal market movements in crypto is 12/12 and April. I would keep an eye on those things. Which direction, please don't ask me, because I've been so wrong this last year. Yeah, so that's that.
So April. Now, is April a solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Because if it's a solar eclipse, I would say that it's probably going to go up because Bitcoin, solar, sun worshiping people, Saturn. These people love that sun worship as well as the lunar worship too, with the lunar calendar and all of that. But if it's a solar eclipse, I'm going to say that Bitcoin goes up, and it's pretty funny. It's going to be over Texas, and the Texas Rangers just won the World Series, so all of that energy right in that Texas area. That's also where Tesla is. Again, talking about X, X. Twitter or X. So it's also going to be 2024. X is the 24th letter. So we got a lot of that X energy. And X has a lot to do with sacrifice. Money is sacrifice. Check out my crypto and conspiracy show on that. I have that for my patrons. That's also on Rokfin, and is also on Apple and Google Podcasts. Look out for Crypto and Conspiracy. I haven't done one of those shows in a whole minute, but that whole show on money is sacrifice is huge. So that whole X is very much related to money, guys. And you see it too with XRP, XLM, XDC, and what we just saw with Bitcoin, right? I just told you. XBTC. Okay, XBTC. So all of that to me says that we have a really bullish X year. if you will, right? A really, really bullish X year for currency as far as the crypto is concerned.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
guys,
We get into weird. Oh, go ahead, MYC. I'm sorry, bro.
I gotta hop off of here from here, but I do want to tell you guys, I let's do it again. If we could do it next week, there's going to be a chock full of things that are going to happen between now and next week, I'm sure, when it comes to revealing that this cycle is for sure on. But I always enjoy being on with you guys. Love you both. You guys are awesome. And I always like how we get to bounce each other. Like, I feel like we're always on the same page too, with a variety of different things that we do like. So, it's always awesome to talk. Let's set something up for next week. And then, we're going to I'll try to get some of these whippersnappers out of your live chat. I can't believe how much they were misbehaving today. So
yeah, sounds good. So it sounds like it's actually a good spot to end it. Let's go ahead and go around the horn here. So Dion just went. I'll have Birdog go and Crypt Mystic Ronin go, and then maybe we do this again next week. Sounds good to me. Maybe here, maybe on one of the other channels. Who knows? We'll set it up and we'll get back to you guys, your respective communities, and let you guys know. Go ahead, Mystic Ronin.
Yeah, Dion, I appreciate you, man. Guys, check out his channel if you're not familiar with it already. I gain a lot from your take, your wisdom. I appreciate you, man. And it's funny, I'm trying to behave and not get too weird. And
no, it's not you. It's some of these people in the chat. They're so crazy today.
We have a real maturity problem in this chat, guys. We're talking
with these whippersnappers over here.
We're talking business, guys. No. The chat's been awesome. Sense of humor. Dion's channel, you crack me up, bro. Also, and you share a lot of wisdom, man. Ruel, you're the man. Yo, guys, check out my channel Friday nights, guys. I kind of got away from crypto. And I just go straight weird. I get into decoding. This realm because I find that I started out well over 20 years looking into. I came into this from the money aspect, Austrian economics, sound money, creatures of Jekyll Island, on, and that brought me up the pyramid structure of oppressiveness to where I just kept going down the path. And this is, again, way bigger than simply making money. This is way bigger than, because to me, this is so much bigger. So if you want to come check out my channel on Friday nights, we don't really talk crypto, but we talk big picture, what this realm is about. And it's wild when you see the manipulation, you can better position yourself. Whether it's astrology, whether it's gematria, whether it's numerology, all that weirdness that you think is goofy, it is applicable to calculating your moves. You know what I'm saying? It truly is. And I appreciate you, Ruel, for inviting me. And Dion, I gotta invite you on my channel sometimes, man.
Yeah, I was telling him, I was like, we should do a cross stream, and then we'll get Roel on it, or more panelists, or whatever the case. I'd love it. That'd be awesome.
Dude, Dion, there's a stigma with crypto among some of the high-minded, like shaman type, like woo type.
I know it is a beast. It's a beast system. It's the ultimate tracking device at the end of the day. So I understand. Unfortunately, we're just trying to make the best of it and be out the back door by the time everything hits the fan, right? So
100%. But I'll rest my mic there, and Dion, you get it. And yeah, man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Guys, all ships rise with the tide. Like Dion just said, man, hey man, we need this Matrix credits. This is where you live in a dystopian sci-fi movie. Might as well not stress about bills or whatever, and might as well get a Lambo filled with a harem and you know,
Right?
machine gun turrets shooting off zombies and aliens, but we're riding in style in a hot tub, just like Michelle in the chat is doing. But anyway, yeah, man, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much, and I'll rest my mic there. It's a true honor. Thank you.
So, guys, definitely go check out Mystic Ronin's show this Friday. He has some juicy stuff packed. He was telling me about it backstage. You gotta check it out on Friday. Links are in the description. Also to Dion's channel, MYCNetwork. Links are in the description. Have an interview with Robert Miles, CEO of Arc Block, just done yesterday. Check it out on his channel. And of course, I hope if you're not subscribed to my channel, we've done enough to earn your subscription here, guys. Definitely come subscribe to my channel here. And hey, guys, maybe we do this next week on one of the channels. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm down. I'm down. So we're gonna do it. We're just gonna let you guys know where it's. Go ahead.
She's misbehaving in the live chat again.
Who is this, Michelle?
Michelle.
Keep your clothes on, Michelle. The show's almost done. Keep your clothes on.
Or maybe don't. Hey, you know, how you're comfortable is comfortable. But yeah, guys, so we're gonna do this again next week. We'll see you here next week, same time, same channel, maybe. Either way, we see you next week. Awesome. Thanks for coming out, guys. We're out. Peace.
Take care.